Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, start in a couple of minutes as usual. Okay, that's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon, guys. And oh yeah, living interesting times. Okay, before how's it, Adele? How's it, Zeph? Just got a call from the Lord of all traders. I think you've been promoted, my friend. We'll come to it in a minute. That trade of yours this morning worked out. I was on the side. I wasn't so sure about this one, but he did very well. Well done. We'll come to it in a minute. Brilliant, in fact. Well done. Okay, just looking at Nasdaq just now. It's risen up quite a bit. I think it'll be setting up soon for a short. Now, gold is really driving me around, and probably one or two others, I guess, as well, around the twist. I'm looking at the yields. This rise up, which is bad for gold. The DXY has come off quite a bit, but it's starting to rise up, so which also is bad for gold. So I don't know. It's just a bit strange. It's right up here. So one of the things I have to be honest, not sure why we haven't had a bit of a pullback, but it has to be imminent because on the daily we can see how far it's risen. This is since yesterday. It's come up by nearly $60. It's due for a pullback. You'll start to recover, etc. So yeah, I think those are in clearly. If you're in, stay in. But if you're long, stop loss, then as long move your stop loss to protect. But there's got to be some sort of imminent pullback coming up, surely, sometime soon. It's absolutely ridiculous. This, but anyway, we found out what was the problem with the CHF yesterday, because the Swiss Credit Suisse, I should say, the big bank in Switzerland, had suddenly found it lost billions in, well, for whatever reason, it lost a lot of money and had some problems because the size of it weighed badly on the Swiss currency. So that was the reason, but it's right up here at the moment. I have to say, go figure. So I'm hoping it's going to recover. But if guys want to preempt that and look to maybe pulls back, I don't know, short it, I think they should do okay. But I don't know, it's fooling me. So it's difficult to comment. All I can say is the yield's approaching 111, and sorry, the DXY is approaching 111, and the yields are up from about 3.6 to sorry, 3. Yeah, well, it's not up hell of a lot, actually, but it is up. I've got 1 hour, not the daily, beg your pardon, but at least it's up. Okay, so keep an eye on it. If it starts coming up, we might get opportunity short. I preempted, I'm in short at the moment, so I'm gritting my teeth a little bit, but anyway, see what happens. Okay, right. Let's move on to the trade ideas we got out this morning. AUD USD, that didn't do too badly. Got it out at 65.30. And yeah, I couldn't post it after the trading room because the ship had sailed. And obviously I can't post during the trading room because, well, because I'm busy doing trading with you guys. So if anyone missed it this morning, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the ship had sailed by 11 o'clock. So 0.6530 was the entry. And clearly it's doing okay. If you did do it, I think if you did do it, clearly you can modify your stop into profit, but keep it above 0.65, just a bit of protection, and see if the dollar strengthens, we'll get some more downside. So that's not doing badly at all. New Zealand dollar did the same. We got on this one at 82.95. What are we talking about? Rubbish. Okay, sorry, look at the wrong one there. 87.43. Sorry, it's my writing. 57.43. 87 there. Just a second. 57.43. Check this guy in. Give me a second. So it's maybe a bit early start reducing the stocks up to reduce it. It's only about 20 odd pips in profit. At least it's in the right direction. So see what happens from here. So those two are not looking too bad at all. Okay. GBP USD been bumping around a bit, like a lot of things at the moment. GBP USD. We got it at 13.90. It's back up there. It came off quite nicely. I'll show you what I mean. Put on the hourly. What's this now? 4.321. Yeah, around about 12. It came right down here. It was doing very nice. Now it decided to pop right up here. It seems to be holding 1.14. Maybe a bit of dollar string come in. We can get a better end to short it down. But some guys are in it. Hold on. Some guys think the dollar's going to go up, which I do. If they missed it this morning, they can look at maybe having a go at it now. I think the 1.14 is going to hold. So, yeah, I think it's a possibility. I'm just going to go back to the dollar again. Yeah, on my other screen, it's just gone off slightly, but still hovering around just below the 111 mark. So I think 1.14 is going to hold, and there's a possibility of some downside on the 1 hour chart. Put it back to the daily. Some possibility, I think, of maybe a bit of downside. It has been defended today already. Try the 4 hour. It's popping up defended there, and we've got a little bit of resistance there. So actually, I think it's a good chance of being defended. So maybe how far away is that? It's going to be too far above here. It's too far away. So maybe up here, somewhere like that. Anyway, if those who missed it this morning, anyone like to look at this, or do they want to wait a bit more confirmation? Okay, I'd like to look at it. I think there should do. It's going to just check to see that distance, because we can fool you on this one. Didn't look much, but it might be more than you think. Just quite a lot, that. I think, what's that? 1506. I think I'll put in the 40s. 1.14. Make it a reasonable size stop. And I think you can take it down to here. Yeah, take it down to the 10-day. If the dollar strengthens, which I hope, obviously, we maybe can modify the TP and grind a bit further if it comes right. 1070. Just check what we actually, maybe we're going to use the same ones this morning. Same one this morning we got at 1497. We'll call it 1480 this time around. Leave your stop at 1497. You have it. 1075. Make it the same as the other one this morning. 1.0, is that correct? 1075. Beg your pardon. 1075. 107. Sorry, get it right, man. 1.1075. That's it. That's plenty. Plenty. Look at that. Hell of a risk reward. A fairly wide stop, to be fair, but I think that's wise. It tried to tap the 1.14 just now, and the sellers seem to be defending it. So keep it up way there. If you want to take it, you can. I won't be writing it down. If you got it this morning to trace back to get other guys, they're likely to go in. The dollar's not making a hell of a lot of headway. I'm just saying. So yeah, I think it's very, very, very oversold at the moment. So I think that I'm expecting some sort of push in the dollar, but we shall see. Obviously, I don't know. Just my supposition. Okay. So there it is. If you want it, take it down, and yeah, we can move on. Got it? Okay, we can move on if you want it. Right. The Euro USD, we looked at that. That's not faring quite so well. I still see if the dollar strength might be a bit of Utah. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Lagarde speaking today. The ECB, European Central Bank President, a lady called Christine Lagarde, she is speaking at 5 o'clock. She is of the Eurozone. So maybe just steer clear of that. Didn't fare too well, that one, so leave that out of the equation. Okay, leave that alone. And you get happen with the euro. Okay, might be good, might be bad. See what it comes out with. Go. So leave that one. So AUD and NZD, it's in the profit. GBP, hopefully it will become again. GBP NZD, this is ZEF's. Well, that last look was bloody good. It's not doing the kibosh on it now. Commentator's curse, they say. 98.11 was a buy. It's now, it's come off a bit. And I looked at it earlier on, it was right up there somewhere. So it was a beaut. Anyway, it's still come off a bit, but it might rise a bit more. And those who took it can modify their stop. Zef, if you modified your stop, it's up to you. If you don't, well, you can make your own choices. You're experienced enough. But I'm suggesting, just to play safe, the markets can just really drive me a little bit potty at the moment. I've got other words, a bit of a wet word to use, but it's driving me sort of crazy at the moment. Probably a better word to use. So just you might miss out on a decent run and just shoot up and you're stopped out, but I'd rather suggest you protect it. Okay, so you're in a profit, a decent one at the moment. So what about 70, 78 pips in profit? According to the entry I've got down here. So why risk it? Maybe put a stop in, maybe 30 pips below market, something like that. See, and just ride it. So I thought you might have done. I suggest the others, if they took it, could do the same. Okay, so that's a well done there. Very nice one. Another one, GBP CHF. That was mine. Lights come on. Hallelujah. Some GBP CHF 1256 as a sell. That's not too bad, Zef. So yeah, you did well. This one of mine's not bad. All the others weren't too bad either. AUD and the NZD. Pound might come right. Okay, so this one's not doing too badly either. Got in at 12.56. It's now what, about 60, just over 60 pips in profit. Again, same story. If you took this one, guys, yeah, I can modify it. It was quite a nice one technically. It went up there, held, and came off. So that's quite a nice one technically. I don't some of you are so keen on that one actually. I think I forced it on you a bit. It's not how many guys took it, but if you did, modify your stop into profit. Okay. Keep it above 112, obviously, maybe 1,220, something like that. So you'll make a profit, whatever happens. Okay, see if we can get some more down on that one. Okay, NZDJPY, that was a buy. That one is not doing too well, unfortunately. That 82.95, it's not too well. Don't just get in the way. Give me a second, get rid of it. It's 20 pips down, but it's not a complete disaster. But it's could be better. But yeah, but it's retraced a bit to the support area there. If you're in it, obviously stay in if you're happy with it. But if you're not in and you like the look of it, I can put the calculator up. Anyone like the look of this one as a buy? It's in the neutral zone, remember? It seems to be holding around these levels here. Anyone sees a potential upside here? It is a bit interesting the way it went up and the sellers came in, but the downside is when it went down, the buyers came in defending this area here. The 4 hour, yeah, it seemed to be defended. Look at the 4 hour there, the 4 hour there. Well, not quite, but you get the general idea. It's maintained since it broke the 4 hour, and yeah, it's a bit flat there, bounced up, came down again. Don't know how you feel. It's okay. It's okay. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's okay. Does anyone want to do this one? I'm a bit lukewarm, to be honest, but anyone like it? Stay with it if you're in. Well, actually, you want to do, you know what to do. You quite like it. Okay, we'll put that up. Okay, the buy. Yeah, sorry. One. Yes. Oh yeah, before I forget, by the way, remember the disclaimer. Now you can just come back. It's been reintroduced again. So don't forget when you go in, you got to tick the disclaimer, or you won't be able to place an order or close or do anything. I've used the same figures from this morning: 82.10. Well, start to 82.10 and 84.6. Exactly the same this morning. There you are. If you like the look of that one, good risk reward. 80 odd bucks a micro. If you like the look of it, it's battling on the 4 hour breakthrough, and it came back again. But when it did come down, the buyer's winning again. Let's say it's okay. It's okay, finally, and everyone likes it. But it's well, I thought gold was pretty brilliant at 18.08 earlier on today, which I got down here, which we'll come to. And I thought, well, that was pretty damn good. But anyway, so I wouldn't take much notice of my lukewarm attention to it. But I'm, for the record, a little bit lukewarm, but I certainly would be selling it. I think there's a possibility of another breakup. Okay. So if you like it, there it is. I've got it down from this morning. If you like it, there it is. And quite frankly, you're getting a slightly better price than this morning anyway. Okay, can I move on? Now, my good, I've done well out of gold. That was being my friend, and now it's my bloody nemesis. Thank God. So I see that should come off a bit. What the hell's happening here? Oh, don't believe it. Okay, now I'm going back again to the yields. Remember, strong yields I'm checking now. It's gone up a bit, which is negative. The dollar's coming off again. What is wrong with this dollar? Sorry, guys, I'm worried now. The dollar's come off again. I've looked at DXY down to 110.60. Oh dear, it's giving some serious jib. Anyway, got the stop above the 50 when the guys went for it this morning. So if you went for it, stick with it. But it's, I think leave it alone. If you're not in it now, I think leave the bloody thing alone. I've gone in twice over the last couple of days, and both times come back and given me a bit of a snot pop, to say the least. So I think just maybe pass on that one, check it later on. Keep an eye on the DXY as per normal. Okay, I think that's the lot. Yeah, we've covered all the, oh yes, US dollar CAD's the other one at 1.36. We looked at, I think some guys took it and liked it. Went up, it was okay. It's still up, it's above there, but it's come off a little bit, but still in the blue. Yeah, it's just every time buyers come in, it doesn't seem to last long. Yeah, I think it still comes to, I think maybe there's a bit of fear of the overall picture that they're being a bit loose, free with increasing interest rates, and it's having unfortunately, you've got to pay with something. And if you want to cut that inflation, it's obviously going to cut the jobs, and it's in the high interest rates. People don't borrow as much to buy stuff. Well, we know the basic economics of it, and now it's having a bit of a negative effect on the overall economy. and jobs report coming up on Friday. So yeah, maybe keep an eye on it. Things overcooked. 114 down to 110.69 a couple of days or so seems a bit excessive. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so not too bad overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 in the profit. 5 retrace, which might go into the profit. One to this right, and yeah, and the other one, well, NZT slightly below, and gold, well, let's set the bloody better. Oh, 4 o'clock, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, remember, always have your jobs there, like I've just done, just clicked on the other screen, had it minimized, it's now in front of me, 10.05 compared to 7.7. So there's not that many more jobs being created, slightly lower. So that might have had a little bit of effect on the dollar. Yeah, that's true. 4 o'clock it came out. Good stuff. Okay. Okay, right. I've covered all that. Just want to go back and look at the indices. The NASDAQ, is it taking out the highs here? See what's going to happen there. So those who like the NASDAQ, might be, some guy did quite well, they bought it today. One guy did quite well, he bought it, sold it, did a couple of scalps on that one. But I think it's starting to reach maybe a little bit of a high on that one. I've seen a bit of resistance there, put this in, right about these levels here. A little bit, there we are. If we get a better look on the weekly, see what it's got to say for itself. It's a little bit there on the weekly there, okay? Yeah, it's a little bit there on the weekly. So, yeah. So obviously the momentum's still up. I don't want to rush into it now, but if I was long, I'd be a little bit nervous. I'd be moving the stop to protect. I'll clearly ride it still because the buyers are still there. And it could go up another 200, who knows? But yeah, I think it's going to start losing a little bit of impetus. Watch those yields. The yields start continuing to go up. You might, the sellers might be attracted into it. So just keep an eye on it. I'm not suggesting you trade it, I'm just saying keep an eye on it. Same with the S&P. Yeah, could get to 3.8. I think the chance 3.8 might hold, and we might see a few sellers come in. So you might keep an eye on that one. And the Dow probably similar. ABCD. Yeah, pretty similar. So keep an eye on it. We might get a few sellers coming in soon. Okay. Okay, I heard somebody call me today and said that it looks like they're not going to be increasing production and seem they're going to be sticking the OPEC, that is the Saudis, where the slight decrease, which they mentioned in August. So I didn't know that. I thought they'd looking to scrap that, but somebody called up and said just about an hour or so ago, whatever it was, and said, and the voice message said that they continue, so might have a bit of upside on Brent, which is making me happy either. So maybe a bit of a torrid type bit, to be honest, guys. Brilliant week last week, the week before, outstanding. I must admit, this week so far, I share it with you, an extremely torrid time. So yeah. Anyway, so there it is. Right. Happens to all of us, tell you, everyone. As if you've had a bad day or two. In fact, I bet all of you have. In fact, I don't know a single soul being in the trading business doesn't have times where they think, right, God, this is time to jump off the nearest balcony. Yeah. As an ex-lady friend of mine once said, and she liked horse riding, if you haven't fallen off a horse, you can't call yourself a horse rider. Until you've lost your trade or two, you can't call yourself a trader. Okay, we mentioned Bubba yesterday as a share. I just wanted to get a bit of a rally to short it. So that's going to be setting up for a short as well. So clear there's no sellers coming in as yet, so I wouldn't dive in. But I put that in under your watch list, put it under your radar, so keep an eye on it. NASDAQ does start coming off. This is not one of the strongest out there. I'm not sure we've got 10 cents, haven't traded for a long time. That's been taking a hell of a strain. And that was the brilliant investment by Naspers that made Naspers such an incredibly successful company. I reckon that was investment of all time in 10 cents. But Bubba similar, and they haven't been quite successful. So I think if you get the NASDAQ coming off, this is one you can look at. I think a pretty good high probability of a short to do pretty good on that one. Yeah. Yes, Adele. Yeah. Yeah. Start stretching one sense of humor. Yeah. Best life looks like that. You do several good stuff and then one mistake and everything happens. Things like a batsman, he spends hours compiling his century, and then one moment's loss of concentration, he's out. His whole wicket's gone. Seems a bit over the top, but anyway. Yeah. So yeah, what can I say? Get to that sort of stage, your sense of humor starts to wave, or mine does, yeah. Stiff upper lip quivers, they say. All right. Oh, I've covered most stuff, I think. Keep an eye on the tech stocks. I'm not sure how long the upside's going to be on the NAS, but we can start getting the pullback. I think you can start looking at getting a couple of tech stocks. I'm not on tomorrow, it's Ashley, so maybe you can remind him to have a look tomorrow. Look at the picture then. At least you had a good. Well, we have got some good reasonable trades out today. I've just been stuffed around my buddy Brenton Gold. But yeah, the Aussie and New Zealand not bad. Pound was come up a bit, wasn't doing too bad. GBP CHF okay. I can't say I did the GBP NZD. Obviously, looking back, I wish I had, but I didn't. And I'll be honest, I didn't do the CAD in the end. But I thought it was a good trade. We put it down, but I didn't do it in the end. And the euro dollar I skipped in the end as well. But yeah, but they're doing okay. But it's just the gold's giving me really a snot clop. That's the way. Good Afrikaans term, I like that term. I like a snot clop. I did terribly and having a laugh at me, but anyway. Okay. Right. Someone talked about CAD JPY this morning, and I mentioned if it can retrace down to the 50-day, it might be worth looking for a buy because it's broken out above. I think this is in the neutral zone, if I remember. No, it's in the buy zone. It's in the buy zone. It's broken up. I've been back and it tested it. Just make sure it did that. Looks like it came back and tested it. What is that level there? 105.96. Yep, came back and tested it, started moving up. It seems to be holding. So from a technical point of view, that's a possibility of an upside trade here. What do you think about that? I'll tell you something, Adele. Yeah. This money is worth a lot more. This is literally about 14 years ago, maybe 15, maybe 14, 15 years ago. I was creaming it on the CFD, the share market, the JSE, that is, creaming it. And Simmers and Jack, the older guys might remember that company, was the darling the stock exchange, was doing okay. And I was buying, retracing and buying. And I went in and bought and it came off. This is the strongest going. So added some more, added some more, added some more. I ended up losing 40,000 rand on that trade. It's about 14, 15 years ago. I'm afraid to say, Adele, I did not take it well. I did not take it well. The dogs, the cats, and the wife are faster than me. Otherwise, I'd have kicked them in the bum as well. No, I'm just joking, but I did not take it well. I was not a happy chappie. That's when you start believing your own legend. So I was doing so damn. Of course, it's going to go up. Don't be stupid. Buy some more. It's an opportunity. Suppose some more. 40 grams probably equivalent to over 100 grand a day. You know, you could buy a house there for 100, 150K those days and get a reasonable one. So 40 grand, and oh dear, I was not a happy chappy. So yeah, we've all been there. Hey, Zeph, your experience, you probably had a day like that, eh? Yeah. And the trouble is, you do so much hard work to build it up. You know, it took me, you know, to build up that kind of money. It took me, you know, a little bit of time to build it, and bang. Well, I stuck it out and built again. I'm okay now, but yeah, serious mental bruising that took. So there, just to share that with you. You've done it a few times. There you are. I've done it a couple of times for sure, but that was the daddy of them. In retrospect, because in today's money it's about 120, 150K, I think. Probably a bit more, I don't know. Your heart's not happy. Okay, so just hope make you feel better, but put it there. Anyway, anyone want to do this one or a bit gun shy at the moment? But I think there's a possibility of a bit of upside with the 4 hour. Seems to be defending it, doesn't it? Defending the last 4. Try the hourly one. Bit indecision creeping in. That's my only hassle. There is a bit of indecision creeping in, but the Brent oil's quite strong at the moment, which will help the Canadian and be negative on the Japanese. So, guys, want to see the calculator? Well, this is exactly it. Why do you think about this? Just want to discuss that. Okay, it's done. Because, yeah, the major problems, of course, like everything else, it knocks your confidence. And, you know, when you're confident, incredibly comes across your body language, everything. When that happens, I don't care who you are. I mean, if the toughest guy on the block, it knocks your confidence, of course it does. You get a bit gun shy for a day or so. Then you get a decent trade, and then you're back up and immodest Roger again. Right, okay, where can we put the stop? Let's see. Just saying, I'm being honest here, I'm sharing it with you. The pain, as they say, because it's there as well. Do we want a wider stop? Is it really necessary to have such a wide stop? You don't want to get stopped out. I hate it when it comes off, stops you out, and then shoots up. I think I'm going to stick with a wider stop and a smaller position. There we are, down there. So we'll make that make it 105 on the dot. It's going to be a wide one, but I think if you don't want a wide one, you can put a tighter stop if you feel it's too wide. But I think we better do it. There's plenty of potential upside. We can go to 110 again, actually. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Maybe we can do up here somewhere. Maybe 108.40. There we are. Remember, you can always modify them all. It's just to start off, something to target to start with. Okay, so $140 a micro, if you like it. I will try and pronounce your name. And Nkululeko. When I spoke to you this morning, I said, hi there, sir. I'm not sure I could get your name spelled, pronounced right. Okay. But yeah, I think that's a possibility. If you do want a wider or tighter stop, feel free to do it. This is just for you, as a guide for you guys. There you are. Not totally set in stone. And I trust you've all got that calculator. Anyone new here doesn't have it, you can get it from the live chat. Go to tech support and they'll get it for you, download it. Remember, do not use it for shares. It's for everything BUT, but shares. That is an Excel calculator, which you can get from your resource on your LMS, or you can do the simple maths. If entry is $100 a share and your stop is $90 a share, never mind the 0.4% costs, it's not much. You can just say it's $10 a share is your risk. And you can buy 1.5, your risk $15, and that'd be a round figure. But don't forget, don't go 0.01 on a share. It's different. And certainly don't go, you might go 5 on a share, but wouldn't go 5 standard on here. Well, you can, you've got a couple of million. Okay, which I know you guys don't have, so it's all arbitrary anyway. Okay, so there we are. Anyone else like it? I'll write it down. Got one guy, Munir Murray, likes it. Anybody else like it? Okay, that's two people. Fine, I'll write that down. US, you're still in the brain, yeah. CADJPY. Might look at we'll look at yen in a minute to see if we've got anything possible there. I think that ship sailed. Don't want to get a better entry. 105 and 108.40. So I've got that written down. Give you a moment to anyone else wants to take it. There are the figures on there. Always a little tip here. Always, it's not moving that quick, but you get a fast moving market and you want to go for it. Make sure you got your volumes right, obviously. So tap in your volume, tap in your buy or sell, and then afterwards go to modification, put your SL and TP in. Don't be faffing around with the new order, putting it all SLs and TPs in. You know, the thing's moving, you might get 10 pip worse price. So get it in, and then you can modify, put it in afterwards. But I always put mine in afterwards, just become a habit of mine now. Okay, so leave a minute or two, well, not a minute, but I mean, just give a few more seconds as you guys check that out. Now it's just coming off a bit, so maybe we can start looking at Bubba in a minute. Okay, happy with that? Okay, I've got that written down. If you want to come back to it, no problem there. So I don't really get it there. No, it's too high. I like it, but I want to get at least quite a bit. Remember down this level here, maybe. Okay, the NAS seems to be coming off. Further 15-minute, get more. No, maybe not. Leave it alone. GBP, not looking pretty. It's just jumped above 1.14. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. What's that damn dollar doing again? Let's look. It's holding at 110.65. Let's get some oomph into it. No problem. Of course, you just joined. Sorry, yeah. So do that, pleasure. $108.40, by the way, but I'll put it up again for you. 105 and 108.40. Oh, thanks, Devon. Well, it's doing all right as we speak. Hey, that's good. So you can continue for a pleasant change. Right, got it. All right. Okay. Let's say this gold still give us the whole thing's going to get there. If it gets there, and the dollar, by the way, if it gets there, it's coming off, and the yields of the dollar start going up, which I think they're going to do, and recover, because they're going to get a bit over sold, to say the least. That would be a fabulous high probability decent downside. So those have been smacked around big time, like Mike Tyson in the ring job, might get a smile sort of start to come back in the face. Okay. Keep a close eye on it, but wait till it comes off from there and make sure your DXY is starting to get a decent recovery. I think we can get a decent pullback, and then we might get the sun back shining on that damn thing. And it looks like the pound's trying to come off a bit. Bloody good. Okay, right. That's about all I can think of at the moment. So up to you guys. What do you think? Anything you can look at? Explain about the Swiss franc and the Credit Suisse, the bank there that gave the Swiss franc such a knock the other day, or yesterday, wherever it was. Because I thought that was a phenomenally high probability trade, this one. Really thought it was a bid. But then that had to come in and stall the day. That was a fundamental outside of control. I didn't see that coming, to be honest. And I'll be honest, I don't care what the Saudis say. If that all starts going up, there'll be so much pressure from starting the taps. Remember, they can break the green laws and start opening up fracking again in the States, which will increase volume. because it'd be unsustainable having 30 rand a litre. Well, that in dollars, whatever that is in dollars. Yeah, I think it's starting to recover. It's overcooked. Remember, it's a bank. It's not bankrupt. We're put on as bankrupt. I thought before we jump in on and criticize him, I thought that sounds a little bit over the top. If he'd been bankrupt, I'm pretty sure a couple of things subscribed to would have flashed it across the screen at me, because that would have been a seriously big deal. It might still happen, but they've taken a big knock, so the share price screamed off. So anyone long in that wouldn't see the funny side of it. I tell you, I remember the guys in equity would always have stocks. They just buy the stuff and forget about it, you know. So the pension funds must take a bit of a knock on that one. But yeah, so I expect a bit of recovery, but then surge seems to appear. Yeah, I'd leave it alone for now. Wait till the dust settles. We call it a 3-day rule. Give it 2 or 3 days for dust settling. Okay. Yeah, well, starting to strengthen a bit, as you can see. Because remember, it's a base currency there. So that's selling against the Swiss franc, which is strengthening. Talk about the dollar. I think the rand strengthened a bit because of the dollar. Was it over 18? 18.2 at one stage? Yeah, 18.2 at one stage. And that's, well, I think there's much to do with the rand, about the dollar. That's something to be said for that, you know. If you get a decent enough account, something like that, you could trade it for a longer term trade with an extremely wide stop. So it takes out that kind of noise for recovery. You know what I'm saying? That's why you always have buyers and sellers, because given different strategies, guys there wouldn't like to buy it up at these sort of prices because they've got a wide stop looking for slightly longer term. So you can play around. That's a bit when you've got more money. You can diversify big time. Short trades, scalping trades, longer term trades, that sort of thing. Have a maybe odd index in there, a few shares in there, you can play around with it. Balance it. That's what the wealth creators do. Balanced portfolio. Okay. Just out of sheer bit of amusement, I'm looking forward to shorting that. The CEO of Quick Trade's got a Ferrari. And I'd just love to pull his leg and say, I'm shorting Ferrari. But luckily not at the moment. He would be pulling my leg and laughing at me. But yeah, that can rise up a bit. And not the NAS got what to do with the Ferrari, I should say the S&P. Dow comes off a bit. Maybe get it around the 200 button level, short it down, and I can maybe tease him in the morning meetings we have. Okay. Right. Yeah, I covered one this afternoon. Any of you guys got any bright ideas to inveigle us with? Anyone out there got anything? Is this going to hold this area here? Try a short-term one. Is it going to break out, or is it going to hold this 11.6 area? Keep an eye on that. S&P 500, that holds. I was hoping about 3.8 on that one. Seem to be holding there. Try the Aldi one. Not telling you a lot. Now, we haven't got any sellers coming in yet, and I'm not sure I want to buy at these levels, so I'd be holding personally. I would hold 5 at the moment, but I think it's starting to lose a bit of steam. It might just drag up to around figure, and I think it might start coming off then. Looking at the Dow on my other screen, the Dow future's not the spot. That's still going up. We've got up a lot. Dow's gone up to 700, so some guys call that well done. Yeah, I think it's going to start running out of steam soon. I don't think that recovery is that great. We're not out of the woods yet, guys. I think this is just a bit of an eye of the hurricane before it goes back into the storm again. We're not out of the water yet. The debts are too large. There's a lot of problems politically, as we know, in the States. If you follow that, they're not happy with their president. One of the lowest approval ratings going in the history of the presidency. And cognitive ability is obviously a big question. They're not happy with the vice president, not happy overall. They've got elections coming up. I think it's the 11th, round about that in November, which is about a month's time or so. I think it's going to be a complete changeover politically in the House there. And then they're going to battle to get anything through, because the partisans, where they vote there, partisan politics, these will just stop anything going through. So yeah, this is not over yet. It's going to give some good opportunities, in my opinion, to sell down. Don't forget, it's my opinion. So yeah. Okay. Any questions on the S&P? Happy with that? Do some people want to buy it here? Anyone out there what thinks it might be a buy here? Or anything, sell, buy, leave alone, any comments, basically. If you need to talk, you can. It's unmuted. No? Okay. Okay, Zeph need to run, I understand. Okay. The lights are back on, so that's good. Yeah, some guys got load shedding at 6, preparing. I get that. Okay, I keep forgetting. Yes, those guys are new to the forum. Clearly, you can mark on the chat line. You can unmute and chit chat. Primarily, it's for two reasons. Number one, by far, which why it's called a trade room. Funny enough, is to look for trades, and normally get good ones. I certainly do. I don't like it. We get bad ones. It knocks you a bit. But we've had a lot of good ones, and overall, looking back, the majority by far have been good. So just stick with it, and etc. Also, it's for clarification. Don't forget, if you see a screen and you like the look of it, and you want to get it set up like that, it won't take me long to show you how to do it. I have no problem with that. Quickly telling what a pending order is for platform trading. Don't hold everyone up. I can quickly explain it. The things like DXY and that you've got to have. It doesn't take long for me to copy and paste, put it on the chat line for you. So that sort of thing I can cover, but it's not a trading session. And people do training in the trading session. It's not right for two reasons. Number one, it's not good. Well, it's not, they're both number one. Good for the traders who want to find trades. Not here, I've done their homework, put the effort and drafted, why someone gets free training. And the other thing is the guy spent good money getting an educational package. Now some guy gets it for free in here. So I'm not keen on doing any training for those reasons. I'm here to assist in trading, advice on trading, and clarification on any questions or any enlightenment you want that you got from the classes. Not to say I don't want to do the course. I just want to put a couple of bucks in my account and get a freebie in here. Doesn't work that way. Okay, it's not fair on the others. Just bear that in mind. Okay, right. I will do the copy and pasting. Scalping. Now, with scalping, I'll do it quickly here with you. You've just got to remember, you've got to take the costs into account. So if you want to do scalping, strongly suggest you have a spreads account, not a commission account, because you'd be in and out of trade much quicker, and you suddenly find you've made $100 or 100 Rand, and it's cost you 110 Rand in costs, and you wonder why you've lost 10 Rand, because you didn't realize the commissions are coming off. So if you want to do, you need to do spreads, because when you go on a spread, you're going on the bid. If you're going on a short, you get out the ask. If you're going along, get in the ask, get out the bid. That difference between the two is called a spread. That's why when you go into a trade, you always see a minus sign. Because you're getting into that, if you're going long, getting into that, getting out of that, so it clearly be a minus. Once that has got to that on the long, once the sell's got the same price as the long, it breaks even. So once you're in profit, you don't have to worry about commissions. That is your net profit. So if you want to do scalping, for goodness sake, go to the live the portal and open up a spreads account. Your choice of leverage is up to you. If you want to highly leverage one, you can. That's up to you. Okay, right. Now you got the spreads. Then you can, depending on what time you want to go in, you can do a 1 hour or a 4 hour. And then you've got to find some sort of range. So let's have a look at this one, because we got it up for no other reason. We haven't got much of a range on that one. Maybe we have. Okay, pretend we're not over here. So I'm going to put a line in there. So you get your horizontal line. This is not great complicated stuff. And put it not right at the tops. You know, give a bit of, maybe there. And then you put another one. Oh, I'll leave it where it is at the moment, okay? Right, there, you got a bit of a range. See what I mean? Now, you can then say trade that range. So if you're trading it, you put your stop above the range to sell it short. And if you're going long, you put it below the range. So you'd see it's come down here. You wouldn't clearly buy that. I know it's hindsight, I get that. But let's say you couldn't see this candle here. Put this on again. Let's say you couldn't see this candle here. You wouldn't be buying there because you got no confirmation. You need to wait for confirmation. It starts to break up. Maybe you could do a 15-minute candle. If you've got a 4-hour chart and you're scalping, you don't do an hour, it's a bit much. Maybe a 15-minute candle, see a bit of green to confirm, and the next one opens, goes with the green. You get in there with the stop down here somewhere, aim the TP up here somewhere. Then you wait. Like we'll go back to this one. You won't be obviously going in there because it's gone through. You'd wait. And the sellers have come in, you don't go in there. You'd wait. And somewhere around about there it's coming off. Then you go in and sell it, put your stop up here somewhere, and then you get your TP down here. You get the idea. You're not worried, therefore, too much about Fibonacci trend lines or anything like that. Stochastics irrelevant. All those indicators are now completely irrelevant. And also, you must take account of the fundamentals. If you find the overall strength of the particular instrument is more weak than strong, you might set a range trade on the sell side and buy it, and vice versa. That's another way to look at it. So you think this one here is particularly strong or weak. Let's say you think it's strong, you buy it, and you might come back before you buy it again. But if it's sort of fairly even Stevens, maybe it's in the neutral zone, it's between the blue and the brown line. The brown line is here in the blue, neutral zone, then you can set it on the way down. Does that make sense, Gerard? Maybe some other people have done it and complicated it further than that. But that's what I've done before, pretty straightforward. Nothing more, really more complicated than that. Got it. Now, day's a bit long. We will see what we can do in a 1 hour. You can even look at a 1 hour. We haven't really got much there. So you have to go through and see if you can find one. Let's just start at the top. Some people might be interested in this for educational purposes. This is very important. If you want me to look at the trade, you bung it up there, I stop this immediately and go to the trade. That takes precedence. Okay. And quite frankly, if I'm looking at a trade of my own, or I want to look at the AUD CHF, and just I'm about to look at it, and you want to look at the AUD CAD. I come second, you come first. We sort that out first, and then when I don't see a trade idea coming up there, I'll start looking at one of mine. Okay, as long as you know that takes new precedence on the trade. That's what this is about. And that's why we get a few ones out here, and most of them are pretty good. Just get a bit down with it, aren't? Okay, right. So let's see if we can find. Let's see AUD CAD. Should we find something there? Maybe you can sort of find something there. This is an hour chart. So maybe you can put, let's go back in time to give an example, something like this, maybe a little bit further down and something like that. And then you've got to check the distance. That's quite useful, that, because you've got the blue line there, works for all charts. Have your 200 and your 50, simple on save. Don't forget, right click, type templates, save it. If you have a problem, or just right click, go to templates, and then pick the ones you save, either the one you save, okay? Right, and then you've got that range. Now you just got to check, is it worth it? So don't just jump in. You've got to, what is the distance? 30 pips. You might find that's not adequate. It's not good enough. You might be happy with that. You might not think so. You might think, I prefer a minimum of 50 pip range, so you look for something else. Let's look for the GBP USD, just for hell of it. Why not? Usually has a bit of a range there. 1 hour range. You've got 1 hour range there. Maybe you can sort of find one there. just to get an idea, might find a bit useful. There we are there. And put your lines in, don't forget, horizontal line around about this sort of level there. What is the range? You find it's a decent one. About 60 pips, that should be adequate. So yeah, in this case, you could actually buy the pound, it's gone up quite nicely, and then sell it down and buy it up. Now we're looking to sell it down again, but it's broken above the range. If you're doing a scalp, that is, this level here. So you might wait a bit if it comes back into it, put the stop up here somewhere, not, going to tight stop. So if you're doing 60 pips, you can't have a stop at 50, you know what I mean? So you'd have sort of about a 30 pip stop or something like that. Use your intelligence, basically, mathematical knowledge, and common sense, mathematical common sense, basically, and then short it back down there. Okay. Hope that all sort of makes sense. Other guys might. It's not so much for guys who've got a job to do. It's for guys who are in front of the computer doing this full time. Now they're making a living out of it. They can do a scalp. I'll tell you quite a nice one for scalping is the NASDAQ. If anyone's interested, if I'm boring you, tell me now. Look at something else. I'll just here's another option to NASDAQ. Why the NASDAQ? Because you can do several, because it moves. After upper three, it seriously moves. So in fact, just be careful at opening upper three. It can suddenly jump quite a bit and stuff the system up. So if you're in profit, it might be an idea to be out in upper three, let it settle down for the first 10, 15 minutes, and then go back and do it again. So let's have a look. You could do, we haven't really found one, but we haven't really got a range on that one. So let's see, we can find one on the 4 hour. Yeah, we could find one on the 4 hour back here. So put these in here. In fact, no, I've got a better idea. Do an hour. We want to do a shorter term on that one. Have we got something back there we could have done? Give an example. Got to find a range somewhere. If you get a range there, just polish there and a range there, just get the general idea. See, even on an hour one, the theory should have a reasonable movement there. Why is this not working? Yeah, there you are. See, you've got about 60 odd pips on an hour range. Thought it'd be a bit more, some you get 100. But anyway, that's a general idea. So in the middle of a range, I mean, this is not in the middle of the range at the moment, so you wouldn't be doing it. If you can see, you're looking back, a few candles there, you could look at the range, put your lines, wait for confirmed break, stop above, set it down, TP there, out. Then you have to put a TP in if you don't want. Probably wise, in case you have to go to the loo. But some guys in front of their computer all the time, some I don't bother, just get out manually anyway. But it might be wise just in case. But anyway, then you put your TP there and buy it back up again. If you see quite a bit of movement, maybe you wouldn't put TP in. You think, hang on a minute, it's doing quite well. I'll put my stop back down here so I can't lose and ignore the range, it's coming off quite a bit. And then you just run it down the normal way. So you've got to think in your feet a bit. There's many ways to skin a cat, they say. Okay, look, that's of use of some people. But you cannot do scalping unless you've got a reasonable account, and you must have spreads, not a commission account, and you've got to be time in front of the computer. It's not something I'll just have a check it out now and again. I'm about to go into a meeting. If you aren't the boss, and the boss sees you keep staring at your bloody phone or whatever all the time, and not concentrating on the meeting, you might get a bit irritated with you. Let's just assume, I suppose. Then you won't know. But you know my point. Okay. What is a reasonable amount? It's impossible to say. See, the thing is, a lot of guys go in with a small amount just to test the waters, see what it's like. Do I trust the broker? Can I get my money out, etc.? I'm new. They're putting a small amount. Other guys don't have a lot, so they go in anyway. That neither worries me. What does worry me is guys going in with very small amounts, thinking they're going to make a lot of money. Now, to be fair, you can with the lottery. Sometimes you get lucky, it's happened. But the odds are far, far more likely to get a battle because you're undercapitalized. Simple as that. I'll get around to your point in a minute. You're undercapitalized. You just got to remember common sense. This is a multi-trillion, not billion, trillion, not round dollar, multi-trillion dollar market. So you go in with the price of a hamburger or two, yeah, it's going to be very much uphill. I'm going to be horribly honest with you. It's going to be very, very much uphill. You got no wiggle room. You got no free margin. You go into a position. Let's say you don't know any better because you're highly leveraged. So you go in a bigger position or bigger size volume because the deposit or margin is so small. and then you suddenly can be knocked out in any small movements because you don't have enough free margin to maintain the trade. It's like anything else. I mean, you know, why do it always say your first million is the most difficult, the second is a lot easier. You got the experience, the knowledge, and you got the power of the buck behind you. You take a couple of smacks, you're pissed off, but you're not out of the game. Guys in a grand or two, a couple of knocks, not in the game anymore. They haven't got enough free margin. So I personally think, I'll be horribly honest, I don't think people should be trading, in my opinion, really much less than about 10K. Or maybe even 5K, something like that. But they've got to be very, very circumspect. And it's a bit of a grind unless you get very lucky, or you overexpose and get lucky, and then normally it comes back and bites, and then you hit hard. But if you do smaller amounts, you know, like a lot of guys, large amount of guys are, you're undercapitalized. It's like going on holiday with 50 rand in your pocket. You're not going to enjoy yourself. You know? Okay, in a moment. So a reasonable amount is what you can afford. I can't say that. I mean, I think you should put in maybe 100 to 2 grand and do the job properly. But if you don't have it, it's a bit of a pointless comment. You know what I'm saying? But if you've got a few hundred, play around if you like, but don't expect much out of it. Everything's against you. It's common sense, you know. I'm going to business, bro. So I want to open a business. Got 1,000 rand. I mean, it's common sense. Right. We looked at US dollar. Sorry, US dollars on the sonic brain here. It's giving me jips. Sorry about Giza. Okay, Adele. Okay, catch you tomorrow. Washabi, if you're going to train, you will be Ashley. But if you want to chit chat during the day, absolutely 100%. Okay, keep me updated what's happening. Okay, fantastic. Okay, right. We looked at CAD JPY as a buy at 106.20. I'll show you the reason why. Technically speaking, it just get a bit clearer here. Okay, we broke through into the buy zone here, came back and tested, which was about half an hour or so ago, and we put up a calculator going at 106.20, 105 stop, 108.40. Got a decent sized stop on that one. It's 8 pips above, but it's still okay if you like the look of it. So if you like the look of it, I'll put the calculator back up. You don't have to have such a wide stop, by the way. You can make it maybe 105.30 if you want. We had a wider stop to get a bit of a better price, but you don't have to. You never have to stop there. That's up to you. You trade before you know the score. But that's the one we looked at anyway. A couple of guys got it, so we got it down here. Okay, you got that? Then knock it off. Move on. That was pretty back up. Gold got there because, yeah, just about reached the 50-day moving average. Things going to hold. The dollar's trying to strengthen a bit, but it's pretty damn grind. The yields are not looking too great at the moment. Maybe just refresh. This you got stuck. Let's check. Might have got stuck. Just check it again. In a moment, as a refresh here. 3.58. So that's not so pretty. Yeah, it's starting to try to rise. It's trying to. Whether it be sustained or not, I don't know. But I think that's a bit of a line in the sand with the gold. I'm not sure it's enough to push it through above that. I think we could get quite a few sellers coming in and quite a bit of, not half, yeah, big time. And I think there's going to be some serious profit taking at this stage. Remember, profit taking means you sell to exit, which will also add to maybe some down momentum. So I think it's some sales going to be attracted to these levels, going to be some profit taking. So I think there's a good chance we might get a pullback here. Okay, non-Fernando, good stuff. Thank you. Catch you on the next caption. Have we got any confirmation of a look at the 4 hour? Not really. Not really. Not really. Might have to wait for confirmation. It might just go there. If it comes off, confirmed, remember, stop up here. I think we've got a good chance of pull back on this. Basically, yes. Well, it's a fear factor as well. Often if disaster occurs or you get Hurricane Ian in the Florida, that can add to, people turn to gold when bad times occur. So that could have added to it. Bomb goes off somewhere, that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's inversely proportional to the 10-year yields and to the DXY. Now, if you don't know what that is, we're about to find out. So I'm going to copy and paste here. First of all, for everyone who hasn't got it, I'll copy and paste. It takes 2 seconds. Give me a moment. What you need to have. Very important. Right. This one here, save in your browser, minimize it so you can refer to it like I refer to mine. It's the yields on the 10-year bond or 10-year note. US, always the US. The other one is a DXY. For those who don't know, that is what you call it, an index of 6 currencies. The 4 majors, Canadian and the Swedish krona. Sorry, wrong one. Clots or that. I've done the wrong thing now. Sorry, just give me a moment. Sorry about that. I just clicked the wrong button. Right, that's the DXY, of course, copy and paste. And this one is the filtered out economic calendar. So you can see what's happening, like non-farm payrolls, CPIs, that sort of thing to come up. So copy and paste that for you, keep it saved, minimize, refer to. So before you jump in, you want to say the Eurozone's coming up with something. Lagarde is speaking. Remember, she's the chair lady of or rather president of the ECB, European Central Bank. And if she's speaking in 10 minutes' time, you'll be rather shy to go into the euro. Okay, so keep those if you haven't got it. You must all have it in the trading room. You might all have it. A lot of guys don't bother coming here, so they won't know about it. But those who bother to come here, copy, paste it, keep it. We have the technology, use it. Simple, easy. Okay. Might be starting to get a pullback. Might be. Okay, Gerard. Happy? Felt you learned something? All those guys out there who don't have those 3, please, very important, use them. I don't have you have your charts. You're happy with them, fine. If you're not happy with them and you want to keep it simple, not cluttered, just get some of this out of there. Not cluttered, get this out of there. Okay, you like it? I can show you how to set it up. Don't forget to save it. Are we all aware of that? If you want to know what margins or contract value, things like that, you left click, right click, specifications, and that'll give you all the information you need. There you are. So now you know what a margin is, you know what contract size is, various hands to get at. You've all got your position size calculator. If you haven't, you go to live chat, technical support, have it. As I said, let's have a do that. What have I done now? Done before, I thought I'd get out of it now. How do I get out of this now? Where's the price now? Can I get out of this now? I've got to get out of this. Press the cross. This one here. Let's zoom in. What? Oh, this one here. Just a second. Move down the other screen. Might get a better view of it. Oh, there it is. No, that didn't work. Sorry, I forgot how to get out of this. Don't have real. Press what cross? That cross there didn't work. Here we are. Thank you. Thanks. Sure. Last time I found it, but forgotten. That doesn't happen very often. Okay, thank you. Right, see what I mean? Here's a good example. If I want my charts back, go there. I've saved them, so I go to templates and I go back here. And nothing happens. Hang on. I'll tell you what, let's just knock this off and do it again. I think we just lost the thing. Just give me a moment. No, I've lost the thing completely now. Just share it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sure. Sorry about that. What indicator? So I was too busy trying to get the charts back up again. And you can set it's quite simple. You want to set your charts up. Just right click on the blank part of the screen on the charts, click on properties, and you can play around the colors till you're happy. It'll give you an example there, and then just OK it. Once you're done there, all you do is go right click, templates, save the template, put whatever name you like down there. Do as many as you like, don't forget, save it, and that's what happens. See what we did then? Just clicked, saved it, and came back up again. Save a lot of time. This is the 50-day moving average, guys. One or two haven't got it, put it on. Simple moving average. Have it on 200. If you like the 10, it's up to you. I like it, so have it there. But the 250 are internationally used and important, and then you save it. Very important. Then you save it, and then it applies to all charts. This is a 200-day. Sorry, it's a 200-hour moving average, a 50-hour moving average. Here, it's a 200-week or a 50-week moving average. You get the idea. It's 250 times the length of whatever candlestick you got on there. Hope that makes sense. Gold is still on the rise. It got back to here now. This is the question here, guys. Yeah, what happens? You've got to, if you can't place a new order, Angel, you've got to go out of the app, go back in, and make sure you tick the disclaimer. I did it off screen because you've shared. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to knock it off. I can't do that. Actually, it's a pity because then you'll knock the share off. Go out of it and then go back in. Wait for the disclaimer. You can't use it right in your bloody face. Tick it and then OK it, and it'll be up and running, and you can modify and do your thing with it. Okay. It had a glitch and MT5 system on it. It's been sorted out and been replaced. Got to have it by law. It's a legal covering one's backside. So people come in, don't think they're in something like savings accounts. Okay, so you've got all that. So if you have a disclaimer, you've got a ticket, you can't go forward. Have a problem, go out, go back in again. You can't automatically. And there you are. So get your chart set up nicely. Make sure your position size is handy there. And make sure your watch list is handy there. And on the bottom, you'll have your trades and all that sort of thing at the bottom. You can know how to part close. We haven't got any trades coming up, but don't even get any more. So I'll have a check before close in a minute of how our trades are doing. What was I going to say? Yeah, you can partly close a trade. You have to close it completely. 1 micro, you got no choice. It's the minimum. But let's say you got 10 micros, or 0.1's 10, 0.01. 10. 0.01's a micro, 0.1's a minute, and 1's a standard lot. If you got 10 micros or 1 minute and you want to close 5 for argument's sake, you can double click on your open trade at the bottom there, not the stop loss TP area. That's obviously for modifying your TP and SL. Anyway, but that area, double click, and the box comes up. Instead of clicking on the yellow button and close the entire trade, you put in the volume of the amount you want to bank, and then you click the yellow button. And if you had 0.1, then you'd have 0.05, and the other 5 would be banked. So you don't have to close the entire position. Don't forget that. Okay, I hope those who didn't know that learned something there. So there's a little bit of instruction there, quickly gone over it in the quiet moment between trades, and I hope you've all learned something. Those are mine. As you see, I don't really use lagging indicators much. Some people love them, swear by them. Use what makes you happy. I don't use them much. That's MACDs and all that. Some people love them. I don't bother. I go keep an eye on the fundamentals, keep an eye on support resistance, and I filter it. It's in the sell zone here, neutral zone between the two, the buy zone up there. So this also acts as, look, a bit of a downtrend, support and resistance. It's like the floor or the ceiling. It's getting near the ceiling, you want to short it. If it comes off the ceiling, it's not going to break through to the next room above. Put it simply, then you can short it. So we're just going to see if it's going to break through here. If it breaks through here, we've got a problem. If it doesn't break through there, we can maybe look to short it, and I think we get a decent pullback. Don't rush it just yet. Give me a big smack, this thing, so by getting too cute. So don't get too cute with it. Luckily, I didn't go in too big, so you know, I'm annoyed rather than actually financially dire straits because I'm going too big. Yeah, the dollar's still for some reason coming off, so it might push through. So don't jump in yet, just keep an eye on it. And the yields are going up a little bit, so it might hold there. I think you're going to get some profit taking, whatever happens, but be a little bit circumspect till we see the DXY, which I've copied and pasted. Keep an eye on it. Okay, all clear there, Devon, Angel, Mr. Murray, easy for me to pronounce. All clear, you learned something there? Happy? And all the other guys happy? Any questions? Before we go and look at the trades we've got open, see how they're doing? Happy, good stuff, that's what I like to hear. Such a nice name, Angel, so you've got to be happy. Great. No excuse, guys, you come to the trading room and you don't ask the questions, you don't say these things here, then you can't blame us. Can if you like. It's not the government's fault this time. It's about over here, but I think a little bit of it was certainly in the UK and the US. The government's job is there to be blamed. Right, okay, I just want to get through quickly a couple of trades we've had out today. AUD USD, we got in at 530, 65.30. Popped up a bit because the dollar's weakened. So make sure you got your stop loss into profit because it could pop up a bit further. Dollar's weakening, it's in a profit anyway. The next one was the NZD. We got in at 57.45. Yeah, it's still in profit, but it's making me feel a bit nervous, to be honest, because the dollar's so weak. It might actually bounce up a bit. Not the NZD AUD's fault, just the dollar's weakening suddenly. GBP, yeah, looks like it might not work out too well. And that's not so much the pound again. I think it's more the dollar weakening a bit. There's a bit of hassle on that one. NZD JPY was another one. How's that performing? So, okay, I haven't moved much since we last looked at it. So it's much the same. Gold, we know we're waiting on that one. Cat JPY 106.20. Got in just a little bit earlier today, earlier this afternoon, I mean. Yeah, it's doing quite nicely. It's up nearly, nearly 30 pips, so it's doing quite well. Going getting free. You don't have to read books on them. You can get free go to the App Store. You get them for free there. But it's my personal opinion. I like candles to see what the buyers and sellers are doing. Don't worry about too many fancy names. Don't get overcomplicated with it. Get the basics sorted out. And if you want to go on to go into more in-depth detail down the line, you can. But no, you don't have to buy books. And perfectly adequate ones you can get free of charge in the App Store. Candlestick formations, tap in and you'll get something. Okay, hope you're happy with that. So this one's doing okay. We entered just now, about an hour ago. US dollar CAD, we got at 1.36. That shouldn't be doing too well, actually. Dollar weekly probably come off a bit now. Doing all right earlier on. Yeah, so it's come off. That's a dollar weakening. So that was a case when it went up, saw the dollar weakening, would be modifying the stop into break even. So in theory, you should have been stopped out in this one. You would have made, you wouldn't have lost. When you see that DXY continuing downstream. Okay, that's why it's so important in dollar-related products to have that DXY handy to keep an eye. If that starts falling off and you're long on the dollar, you might start modifying your stop so you don't come off like this one here. Okay, that all makes sense. GBP CHF. We got at 98.11. No, we didn't. That's the GBP NZD, idiot. 1256. Now that's come off a bit. We've never sold this. We want it to come off, idiot. Now that's nicely in profit. So yeah, just in case, maybe modify your stop down to, if you're in it, don't join it now, to a little bit below entry to cover your costs. At least you protect going to your sleep tonight. Okay, GBP NZD, almost certainly modify that, did very well. Locked, I didn't enjoy it. I was a bit iffy on it. Big mistake, missed out on that one. Zef's left, trading on that one, doing very nice. Modify on that one. We've got a 980.11, 100 pips of profit. What a pleasure. DD, anything else? I think that's the lot. Oh, yeah. NZD, JPY, we mentioned CAT, JPY, yeah. And we're just waiting on the gold now to see if that's going to happen. But no, sorry, guys, watch out. It's anything to do with the dollar now. Modify stocks, be careful. The dollar is still falling. There might be a bit of profit taking at this area here. There might be a little bit. Might be a little bit. Simply because it's the 50, because it works quite well. Other guys use it as well, and they'll probably take profit down there. There'll be a few TPs bidding triggered around this level, but it seems to be trying to force up. But if that gets some bloody strength in that dollar, guys, I'm serious now. This could come back quite a bit. And there's a serious opportunity to make some money on the way down. Okay. A lot of this stuff, and don't forget, guys, you can get in the App Store as well. You don't have to start buying books on the subject. But I still say trading room, get the basics, get the practice, get the strategy going there, discuss it, the practical aspects. I think it'll be a lot easier, more pleasurable, and quite frankly, a lot more effective than reading through hordes and hordes of books. You're not studying for your PhD, you're studying to try and make a buck. I'm assuming. But yeah, again, guys, if you can, try and get some capital. I'm not saying for me, most of mine knows what you do. From that point, I'm just here to help you. But if you haven't got much capital, for goodness sake, keep some free margin in. If you've got very little free margin, you're going to get margin called. Simple as that. It goes up and down, you get margin called. Okay. Any other questions before we go into the close? Get supper ready, etc. Anyone wants a little bit of clarification? You guys ask some questions. Very important you do, like Gerard and Munir Murray, etc. And Angel. Very important, because I can't answer the questions because I'm not a mind reader. So some of the questions you ask are applicable to everyone. They're just a bit nervous to ask. If I found another one joined in, it's a forum. So, you know, very important you join in and clarify. Often they get these in the live chat or WhatsApp. Can you do this? And so you can't answer a question like that in a WhatsApp or live chats. You come to training on and you go on a Zoom with a chart up and you clarify a lot easier that way and verbally. And stick it out. This is not something you learn in 5 minutes, and you're always going to take a knock. I've told you I've taken a knock last day. It happens. Everybody does. But we don't want you guys taking a knock because you didn't know the non-farms was coming up, didn't know who Jerome Powell was, and you didn't know what a support was, or something like that. And it's clearly a long, you should be going in the high probability, it's a long, no 100%. And you're going short. Why were you doing that? Those things you can control. Very important. And always control that volume. Do not under, because I'm going to waste your time, but don't overexpose, because if it goes against you, you're going to get smacked, and then you're going to be upset and lose your confidence. You've got to get a stage, you go in what you can afford to lose, not afford to make, afford to lose. Then your mind is okay. All about controlling that mind. The answer, in my opinion, some might disagree on that. I don't think so. You get more activity as the markets open in specific areas. In other words, at what time the Japanese are about 1, 2 in the morning, you might get a flurry on the Japanese, Aussies open, a flurry on the Aussie, and the European markets open, and was it about 10 or whatever it is, depending on time. Times are going back soon anyway. Going into winter, where are we now? No, forward, there's summer in it. Get it the wrong way around. December is our summer, their winter. Yeah, there'll be a clock change coming up sometime this month. Yeah, and the biggest one of the lot, of course, the American at 3:30. You often get a bit of flurry and it quiets down probably like 5, 6 o'clock into the normal trading. So some guys like the Japanese, they get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and they trade and they sleep during the day, that sort of thing. So not really, which is makes it quite good, because if you it means you might want to do something in the evening. The only problem is you won't get much mentoring from me to start calling me at 7 in the evening. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Sipo. Anything else before we go into the close of the session, that is?
Raj, it seems that Lagrat's whatever she's saying is very positive for euro, because the euro is just strengthening against all the other currencies.
Yeah, it might be. I can't say I'm surprised, Farney. I can't say I'm surprised. I would think she's got to go a little bit hawkish on this because they are in a serious mess. Italy, France, even Germany, they're all battling. So, she's got to start taking a bit more of a hawkish stance. And what I mean by that, it's going to start saying we've got a little bit more radical on this inflationary area, and they'll start talking interest rate increases. And that normally, not always, there are reasons why it can actually decrease the currency, but in most cases, this stage, it will probably strengthen it. So I can't say there's much of a surprise there. But thanks for the update anyway. Yeah. That's why I say we've got some out now. Don't try and get cute tonight. It's up to you. You can do your scalping or whatever. But I think we'll just sit now and have relook tomorrow and see what the situation is. Remember, we got the non-farm payrolls. That's the jobs report coming out. Comes out once a month, the first Friday. It'll be 2:30 tomorrow, Friday rather, and that is very important. It's the biggest fundamental of the lot, and that does affect world markets. Obviously, when Friday comes, you'll all be made aware of it, and Ashley will certainly be discussing it on that Friday. People are a bit nervous to go into dollar, very nervous to go to dollar on Friday. The non-farm's coming out, because anything could happen when the figures are released. Okay, but this stuff you'll pick up in the trading room if you're not sure about. If you get it from the economic calendar, I've copy and pasted it for you. If you're not sure of it, click on it and it'll tell you about that specific fundamental. It's very important, those, and I've filtered out for you. So you don't have to fiddle around. You won't be finding something unimportant on the Mexican peso or Indonesian fiat, whatever they call it there. So you get the idea. So yeah, filled it for you. If you're not sure what it is, click on it and it gives an explanation of each fundamental. And it's a lot easier. And quite frankly, Mr. Murray, because I'm battling to pronounce your first name, save you waiting through all the books, trading room, and get the basics. And I think it'll do yourself just as much good. The practical aspects. Okay, so you've got a hard work as well. Tough enough to see what the bloody market does without worrying about studying too much. And even then, after that studying, something's going to happen out there. Always remember, sorry to repeat, just before we go into finish the session, the market's made up of buyers and sellers. And if you've read all the books and all the indicators in the world, something like Lagarde comes up with something, you could push all that out of us. Or there might be some guy saying, "Sod it, I'm going to sell the euro or take profit or enter a big position, selling it short." No matter what indicators say, the price action will come off. So you've got to keep an eye on that price action. That's why I have it clearly up here. And I do like this here, put on the daily here. I use the day as a strategy for where is it? There we are. I use it there for a filter. I find it's above the two, it's a buy zone, neutral, sell. So I'm looking to sell the rally here, buy or sell here, buy the pullbacks on this one. Okay. And if it continues to weaken, this down, dollars is doing at the moment, and the euro is getting some good push from the backside from Lagarde, could actually take out the blue line there. But I think whatever happens, it might get a bit of a pullback there anyway, just from a bit of profit taking. Let's just see if there's any pullback on gold. Not as yet. Really is flying high with weak dollar. Okay, guys, everything. All clear? All happy? Any other questions before we close? All good? Okay, see you next time when I see you, and hope we get these trades working out all right. Be careful of that weakening dollar. If you're any long dollar trades, get your stop protecting you, because those nicely profitable ones could end up going into minus. Because the dollar really is down, it's still going down. Okay, good stuff. Cheers,
All
guys.
right.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad in Kululeko that you took the trouble of coming, because I only spoke to you today. And you can see, I hope you feel it was rewarding and you've learned quite a bit. Okay, thanks. Great to have you all.